Joining us now is our third quickest for Saturday night's 52nd Annual Bank of America 500 Coors Light qualifying, and that is Carl Edwards. He drives the number 99 Aflac Ford for Roush Fenway Racing. And Carl, you were talking about earlier here today about qualifying and running up front and having a car that you thought could hopefully win this race Saturday night. Are you feeling that?
Yeah, I feel really good. If I'd have known how good we were down the back straightaway, I would have gone a little easier through 3 and 4, but that's really neat. We were talking about it up there in the hauler. It's nice to be disappointed with third place in qualifying. We have not been very good qualifiers historically, so this is going to be a great start for us. We'll get a good pit stall selection. Now we can focus on the race.
Anybody have a question for Carl Edwards? Right here on the front row, please.
I was wondering if you could turn it up the heat here a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's
it is sizzling in here, you guys.
Yeah, it is.
All those computers must be working hard.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Go ahead.
Mike,
Yeah, I know it's the computers working.
MikeHenryspeed.com. Tony mentioned that he expected speeds to pick up tonight, and they didn't. There was talk about new track record, et cetera, but none of that happened. What happened, do you think, that the speeds weren't quite as fast?
Well, I think the speeds – sorry, spit all over the microphone. Speed. I think the speeds were faster in practice because the temperatures were lower and we had some cloud cover. So, I mean, those are still really fast times, but we didn't see that huge change from practice to qualifying, I believe, because practice was, it wasn't blistering hot out there during practice. But I expected the same thing. I thought the times would be a lot faster.
Go ahead, Tom.
Hi, Carl. Tom Jensen, Speed.com. Is there any particular reason that you see that there were 7 Fords in the top 10? It's unusual for one manufacturer to be that dominant.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. Well, our engines run pretty well in the high RPM range. These qualifying laps, you keep the engines wrapped up, wound up real high. But I'm glad you brought up Ford. I didn't mention it last week after the race, but this is the 110th anniversary of Ford racing. Henry Ford won a race 110 years ago, and we talked to Edsel Ford a little bit this week, and he was really excited, and we're all excited about the fact that Fords are leading both series right now, Nationwide and Cup, and it's a big weekend for Ford. So, hopefully that translates into good race cars for the race, but this track is, it's definitely two different battles. Qualifying is one thing, the race is another. So, as well as we're running, we've got our work cut out for us still.
Reed and then Monty.
Reed Spencer of Sport News. Carl, we were watching the lap tracker during your lap, and heading into 3 and 4, it looked like you had the thing killed, maybe high 27s. What happened in that final corner? Well,
I came to the green and it had a ton of grip in 3 and 4, so I was real excited to get back there to 3 and 4 and do that again. And then on the qualifying lap, I just got tight down there. We went back and we watched a little bit, and I was just too aggressive, I think. And but if I had to do over again, I thought that the pole was going to be so much was going to be so fast. I don't know if I could make myself slow down there. You have to go in there, and especially at a track like this where you have to be so aggressive to run that fast lap, you have to just hope that the grip level's there when you get to the corner. Once you enter, you've committed. There's so much energy built up that if one end doesn't work right, it's just too bad. You're going to be slow, and that's kind of what happened to us. But if I could do it again, I think I could definitely run a little bit faster than we ran. But I'm sure everybody could say the same thing. So that was the best I could do.
Go ahead, Monty.
Monty Dutton, Gaston Gazette. Carl, when there have been so many times when, you felt for much of the day like you had a great chance to win and something would come along.
Right.
To come off a race in which you looked like you were in oblivion and managed to come up with a great finish, does that make, performance and everything, but does it kind of feel like your luck has turned, that you have momentum, that things are going your way?
Don't make me say my luck's going well. That'll jinx it.
Does it make you think that things are starting to turn?
Well, you're exactly right. There's so many days where you finish fifth and you're frustrated because we've had days like that this year, a number of them where we just knew we could win the race, and we were so frustrated with second or third or fourth or fifth. But last week literally felt like we had won the race. I mean, we got to 11th, and I thought, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. I could never imagine we'd finish 11th in this race. And then we had the last couple restarts, and maybe it was the last restart. Yeah, last restart we finished 5th, and it just that was so far beyond what I thought was possible about halfway through that race that yes, I'm very grateful for it, and I'm aware that there's a huge amount of luck involved. I hope that continues. It could go just as easily the other way. Where was Jeff Gordon running when he blew up? What position was he in? Do you know? But he'd been running in the top 5. If he didn't blow up, the points would look so much different right now. That everything would look a lot different. So I'm aware of all that, but we do have to run better. We have to perform just a little better. We can't hope for that every week. No. I've learned not to. You know how that goes. As soon as you start thinking that, it's over.
Other questions for Carl? Carl, thank you very much, and good luck this weekend here at Charlotte, okay?
Thanks a lot, guys.
Joining us now is our second fastest. It's Matt Kenseth. He drives the number 17 Fluid Master Ford for Roush Fenway Racing. And Matt, starting to become quite the qualifier. Talk about your qualifying lap, and you think you got the car that can run up front here Saturday night?
Yeah, it was a good lap for us. I didn't feel like in qualifying practice we really were that great. I didn't think we really had it. And today's, I think, the first time in a long time. We just worked on qualifying the whole hour and a half. Thought maybe there was a chance of rain tonight, so we wanted to try to post a lap and couldn't really do a lot better than 15th or 17th, whatever it was. So it was a little bit surprising me, but Jimmy and them guys have been doing an awesome job, especially in qualifying. Trim. Our cars have been so fast here actually almost all year. We've qualified way above average, for us. So it was a good lap. I left some out there. I feel bad. I wish I could go do it again. I wish somebody would beat me by more because I wouldn't feel bad about leaving a half a tenth or something out there. But yet it was a good, solid lap. Great place to start, and look forward to putting it in race trim tomorrow and see what it drives like.
If you have a question for Matt Kenseth, raise your hand. We've got a couple of wireless mics. Any questions for Matt? Got right here on the front row.
Bring the mic to the guy who needs a gallon of milk.
There you go. I'm hungry, man.
And a bowl and spoon.
Mike Neff from frontstretch.com. I think we talked about this before, Matt, but just what has led to this resurgence, or I guess surgence, because it really wasn't there before, of you being able to qualify so well? Is it something that you've intentionally worked on, or is it just something that you guys have figured out?
I really need to give most of the credit to Jimmy. I think if you look through past history, Jimmy, first of all, has had success everywhere he's been, and he's been always with winners. But he's always qualified really well. If you look back at least it seems that way to me. So I think a lot of it's him. I think maybe I've got a little bit better at it. Probably not a lot, but maybe a little bit. I probably don't. As dumb as it sounds, I probably don't try quite as hard as I used to. I don't stress out about it as much as I used to, and it seems to get us faster laps. But and for some reason this year our cars just drive really good in qualifying trim. I mean, they've been pretty good in race trim too, but it seems like most weeks we've been almost better in qualifying trim than race trim, which obviously helps for Fridays or qualifying day, whatever day that might be.
Other questions for Matt? Anybody else?
They're out of questions for me.
Out of questions.
They've
for
seen
you.
so much of me lately.
What's that?
I've done more media lately than.
I know, yeah. You're the media darling.
See, I'm boring them all.
Media darling from Wisconsin. Matt, thanks for coming in, and a lot of luck to you Saturday night. I got a feeling we'll be seeing you here after the race.
I hope so. Thanks a lot, guys.
Okay. Our Coors Light pole winner for the 52nd annual Bank of America 500 is Tony Stewart. He drives the number 14 Mobile One Office Depot Chevrolet for Stewart Haas Racing. This is Tony's first pole in 2011. It's his 13th career. His first one here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, his 26th race here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. So, Tony, talk about terrific qualifying lap, big race here Saturday night, 500 miles. Talk about starting the race up front.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool lap, obviously. The hard part is you just, typically we see the pace pick up a little more in qualifying than what we saw tonight. And, you just didn't know what to think. There were guys that actually, a lot of guys broke even or may have barely picked up a little bit or lost a little bit in their lap. And that's not what you normally see here. You normally see a large pickup from practice speeds to qualifying in the evening here. But just was happy with the lap. I mean, I felt like we had a good pickup. Definitely had a really good lap, obviously. But you sit there after that lap and felt like that. Hopefully we had something that was going to be a top 5 or 6 run there. But it was definitely better than what we thought at the time after we had got out of the car.
Okay, if you have questions for Tony, raise your hand. We'll start here with Jeff. Come over to Reed. Go ahead.
Jeff Gluck from SBNation.com. You said it was one of the best cars you've unloaded here in a long time. Then you go out and get the pole. Safe to pick you for my fantasy team, or
That's
what?
why they call it fantasies, is you never know. So, it's definitely been a good start to the weekend. I mean, the first run we made today was in race trim, and that was the best balance that we had taken off the truck here in a long time. So felt like that. Darian thought the pace was really good, that what we ran there, and I felt comfortable in the car. So it definitely got the day started off on the right foot for sure. When we started doing our qualifying runs, we were pretty decent in speed too. So you never know how. I've had runs here in qualifying where I've missed it and missed my marks or done something trying to gain that extra time that you think you're going to need, and made mistakes. And tonight I just tried to duplicate my lap that I ran in practice and just get a little bit more out of it versus trying to get that big chunk like we were used to in the past. So it's definitely been a good start to the weekend, but I've never got into the fantasy anything. So I watched Fantasy Island as a kid. That's about as much fantasy as I've had. So
Go ahead, Reed.
Reed Spencer with Sporting News. How do you account for the fact that why do you think the track didn't pick up from practice today? And are you surprised that in the top 3 spots, nobody came from those last 10 guys who went out?
I am surprised. I mean, I was surprised when we got out of the car because obviously, when you're on top of the board like that, you start paying a little more attention and obviously are more concerned about what's going on there than if you've missed it in your qualifying run. But I honestly don't know. I don't know why guys didn't pick up. I was watching from the motorhome and was watching guys' lap times and looking at the sheet and seeing what they had practiced, and there just wasn't as much as what we've seen. And I think obviously we had a lot of cloud cover today and cool temperatures here in the last couple of days. So I don't think the track changed as much and got as hot during the day as what we typically see here. So I think that's the reason you didn't have the big pickups. But you still anticipate that at night the guys are going to pick up speed. It just seems like outside, it just seems like the air is a little muggier right now, and I don't know if that hurt horsepower and created more drag and just kind of evened everything out. The guys that they probably made gains in their car for qualifying, but the temperature and humidity and air probably equaled it back out. But it makes our lap that much better of a lap knowing that we were able to gain what we did.
Any other questions for Tony? Okay, Tony. Well, thank you, and congratulations on winning the Coors Light pole, and certainly a lot of luck to you here Saturday night.